So last week I got in the brand new release by Creed Oud Zarian. It's not necessarily it's a pre-release. It hasn't really came out yet. Comes out mid to late August. I still haven't got a date on when that's coming out, but I did find out where you can find them. Again, I told you in my first impressions that the samples would be coming out of this fragrance soon, and that is on scentrush.us. They only have one bottle. They're doing 2 milliliters of each one for around $12 to $15, somewhere in that price range. Use the code DOUD5, DOUD5 for 5% off. But I mean, for a fragrance that's $600 retail from what I'm hearing, getting it for $12 or so dollars just to try it out, I gotta say, Creed's Oud Zarian is something that I definitely recommend trying. But scentrush.us will have the samples, and again, they'll have 50 of them. So first 50 people, and then after that, they won't have more, probably until the release date. With that said, today we're doing my full review of Creed's Oud Zarian to let you guys know what it's about and see if you do want to get a sample of it. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back at you with, again, a full review of a brand new release by the house of Creed. This is Oud Zarian. It might be like Zarian or something like that. I don't know because I'm the first one to be reviewing this at this point in time. With that said, make sure to hit the subscribe button, smash that like, comment below, all that good stuff so that we can talk about this brand new fragrance and letting you know what the performance is like. Because again, I already talked about the first hour of the fragrance in my first impressions. With that said, really beautiful bottle. I told you if you hold it up to the light, it looks exactly like Creed Centaurus, but they kind of just made a matte dark brown version of it. But when you hold it up, it's like maroon. It looks exactly like Creed Centaurus in the light. How does this one smell? Whenever I looked at the note breakdown, again, I thought it was going to be Rose Oud. I was right about that, but the thing is that there's a lot more going on, especially in the opening. I told you in my first impression, the opening was my favorite part, first half hour. It's like a Moage Royal tobacco. It's not like, and it's weird because it smells like there's tobacco in it. I can't find anywhere that's saying that there's tobacco in the scent. So I'm just going to say there's tobacco in this and then just leave it at that because it's such a well blended scent. And when you get to the dry down, it doesn't really show its head to where it's like, oh, this is tobacco. I'm like, it smells like there's tobacco because I can compare it to two very heavy tobacco scents, Zahara Signature Tobacco and Moage Royal Tobacco. That's just where I get it from. But it might just be because I'm reminded of those, but it definitely smells in the same realm. When you first spray it on, Creed Oud Zarian, it's a little bit more luxurious, smells a bit more higher end, but it's like that smoked resin, spicy myrrh frankincense mixture that you get with a bit of a creamy undertone, just like a Moage Royal Tobacco. It's warm, it's delicious, has a little bit of rose plucked underneath there, but nothing that's overly floral. It's definitely leaning more masculine, especially in that first half hour. It's rich, decadent, but also has the bright, effervescent feeling from the ginger. I'll put the note breakdown so you guys can see it, but I'm not going to list them off right now. When you get to that mid, the rose starts to pick itself up, and that's where it kind of just wanes down for me. But I'm not a big fan of rose. If you are, then great. But I thought that this was going to be like Ombre Nomad, and I was going to hate it right away. But it wasn't. It's better than Ombre Nomad. It's much better, even in the dry down. But it does remind me of a lot of Zahara fragrances. It reminds me of a Moage Royal Tobacco, which is my favorite of Moage. So I absolutely love that first half hour. After about a half hour to 40 minutes or so, when that rose starts to pick itself up, I told you guys in my first impressions I stopped at about 45 minutes to 50 minutes instead of getting to an hour because I knew where the fragrance was going. And I was wrong, actually, because the rose does pick itself up, but then the rose kind of goes in waves, and it goes down while in a wave. The rose is very light in the opening. It starts to pick itself up. It starts to become more of a simplistic, woody, creamy, semi-spiced rose woody fragrance. That's what it is. The 80-year-old aged oud. Don't be scared off by that. It's not overly animalic. There's a slight animalic tone at times, but it's really not noticeable. And then after a half hour, it becomes more like the second half hour is more of like a personal enjoyment, situational fall and winter fragrance. And it's it's just very delightful. I absolutely love it. But when the rose creeps up, it just turns from like a 9.5 or a 9 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10 because, again, not a big fan of rose. As you get to the mid and to the dry down, after an hour, the rose starts to go in that the ebbs and flows of the wave of the rose is where I start to like the fragrance more, because then you get a little bit more spice. The woods start to creep in, and I notice that it's like an oud sandalwood mixture, which I love sandalwood. That's what's bringing the creamy tone and the dry down, and you get some of that warmth and a little bit like of a sticky vibe from the elemi, and the frankincense is providing that nice incensey vibe. Oh, I absolutely... I adore the opening. I adore the dry down. Even the mid is something that I actually like a lot. But that's where the oud starts to show its face, is about after an hour. And again, I didn't think that it would. And it's not a heavy oud. It just becomes a little bit more woody. The rose and the oud are the main players. So this is Creed's version of a rose oud fragrance. It's just there's a lot more going on. It has that Creed's vibe of luxury. And so overall, is this something that I would like if I went out of my way? Because if you guys haven't guessed it already, I got this bottle in conjunction with Scent Rush at this point in time. With that said, if I could go out of my way to buy this, like on discounters, let's say it hits like $265, $250, like most of these types of bottles like Royal Oud go for, there's a chance I would. But the wearability factor of it, for me, I would rather sample it and decide that after. And so that's what I'm doing here. So would I pick up a full bottle of this? It depends. I just have so many fragrances. Do I need something that I would wear maybe 5 or 6 times a year? That's where I come in. But again, that's where the rose, if there was no rose in this fragrance, I would wear it 100 times. Like I would wear it probably like 20 or 30 times a year. Is it worth that? I think that it might be worth it just because I have so many Creeds in my collection that just adding this one to add a little bit of depth. And if I want to wear something a little bit more grown up, like if I'm wearing a leather jacket or something, that's what this one feels like. It does have a slight vibe of freshness to it. It's not a fresh fragrance whatsoever, but it allows it to be worn in the spring and maybe like 60 to 70 degree summer nights. Oud Zarian, again, just to summarize the whole thing, it opens up. It's more of this rich, warm, spicy, decadent, woody scent with a little bit of rose underneath it. And then, again, I think it has tobacco. As you get to the mid and to the dry down, it's more of a rose woody scent that has this kind of spice and the elemi underneath it and a bit of a smoky tone. But then when you get further into the dry down, it is more simplistic, but the rose just goes in ebbs and flows. And for me, when it's on the ebbs, I absolutely love it. When it's on the flows, I still like it, just not over the moon about it. And the performance it's like a day. I sprayed it on, and the one time I didn't take a shower at night. I don't remember why. Oh, I think the power was out or some shit. And it was still on my hand the next day whenever I was testing it out. So I can tell you the fragrance is going to last. It has a nice, powerful sillage, about 6 feet. With that said, the performance is just, it's a Creed performance. Right around the lines of a more powerful Royal Oud, I would say. If I had to just give it where it's really performing, it's the first 6 hours, 5 hours, where you can really smell it off your skin. I'd say 5 sprays will do you good. Maybe like 1 on both arms, 1 on both sides of the neck, and 1 on the back of the neck, or 1 on the chest, something like that. And you would be fine. Creed's Oud Zarian, I mean, it's probably the best Rose Oud combination that I've smelled, just because there's a lot more going on. And so if you like the style of fragrances that Amouage Royal Tobacco, Zahara Signature Tobacco, and Rosé blended together really bring to you, Creed's Oud Zarian will really do it for you. And it does it for me. It's just I needed to decide, is that situational? Everybody should try this out. That's why I'm mentioning Scent Rush. Obviously, they sent me this, but try it out. It's a Creed. It's $600. Don't buy it. And if you buy it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, don't buy it now. $600. I mean, once it comes out, obviously. And again, I'm not 100% sure that's the price. It's just what I'm hearing. But Oud Zarian, it's a thumbs up for me. It's just wearability factor. That's all up to you. Are you somebody that's cool with wearing Rose out in public all the time? And make that decision on your own. Are you, if you like Rose, if you like Rose Oud scents, if you like Rose Woody scents, or if you like Amouage Royal Tobacco, Signature Tobacco, any of the ones I mentioned, you definitely need to try this out, because this is 100% going to be for you. If you don't like the ones I mentioned, it's probably not going to be for you. And I can't tell you anymore. So, yeah. I would say overall it's an 8.5 out of 10. I love the opening 30 minutes, and then I love after an hour. But it's that second half hour where the rose becomes prominent that I'm just like, I could do without it, but it's still above average scent. But I love it. Yeah, I'm going to buy it. Every time I smell this, I'm like, should I buy it? And then I smell it, I'm like, oh, the rose is like gone. Now I love it again. Yeah, it's so good. It's such a good scent. It's so well blended, so well made. I mean, Creed's been knocking it out of the park. Centaurus Delphinus, this one is just fantastic. Anyway, Oud Zarian, I'm done talking. Let me know what you guys think once you try it out. Again, go to scentrush.us, use the code DOUD5. If they are sold out, I can't tell you anything, but I am posting this on the day that they will be doing the samples. So, do your best. Well, let me know. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with another one. Peace out.